is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
This truly is a godforsaken place.
I don't see Jack. I don't see anyone.
He's here. Davy Jones never once gave up that way he took.
And does it matter? We're trapped here by your doing, no different than Jack.
Witty Jack is closer than you think.
After living on the edge, the pirate store was plunged into the depths of the Blackwater radiation field, only to awaken within Davy Jones' locker, the white-body radiation field, and the heart that has been cut off from Mother, the Demiurge. The makers of the movie are showing us a barren desert landscape, the home of Seth, and I want to start making a link in future work with the concept of Dune and Titan, as this is the landscape of Arrakis Planitia, Titan's largest plain.
How long has this been here?
Aurora, Tunda Pi, Shumarimba.
Growing. Yeah. 3 meters a day. Six horns. 6 horns, 6 locations.
Slap me thrice and hand me to me mama. It's Jack.
Through the regeneration of the Stone Temple pilots, the Rolling Stones keep on rocking in the free world, or shall we just say the stones that turn into crabs. The latter creates an energy current that is leading Jack's stores back into the plasma sea and out of the singularity world of the moon portal. The crabs represent the presence of blue shift radiation, centered within the top of the torus, the area of the tropicle of Cancer, from which a current of motion within the up is down mechanism could be manifested.
And they're growing at an exponential rate.
Alien, whatever they are. Chinese call them horns from hell.
Oh my God. Cybertron is coming.
What?
Just a few thousand years ago, our ancestors witnessed a gathering of planets close to the Earth. An explosion of human imagination occurred, an outpouring of mythology and symbolism that defined cultures for thousands of years. Long after the celestial provocation itself was forgotten. In these early historical times, there are no records of the present planets, no diaries recording planetary motions or periods. Planets as we know them today did not exist. These were the gods, awe-inspiring, and at times capricious and terrifying. Early star worshippers speak of a great light of heaven, motionless in the sky, the Egyptian Atum or Atum Ra, the Sumerian On, the Babylonian Anu,
Where in hell is your so-called magician?
He will be here, Lancelot. He swore it.
In my research for truth, I keep returning to this ancient cataclysm, which I renamed the Saturn polar configuration, at a time and where planets were much larger visualized in the heavens than they do now. The Sun, Moon and the planets, the 7 Argon heptamer power structure, are focal points of spheres within a dome with a firmament. The 8th layer, Uranus, is the personification of the sky and the dome. Within the world of radiation and energy, Uranus is the father of fathers, father of the Titans and grandfather of the Olympians, from which all inner spheres have been created. Uranus was the son and husband of Gaia, the Earth, with whom he fathered the first generation of Titans. In Hesiod's Theogony, which came to be accepted by the Greeks as the standard account, from Gaia the Earth, the first entity to come into existence after chaos, the void, came Uranus, the Aurea, the mountains, and Pontus, the sea. Uranus was apparently the son of Ether, the one standing on high, or in Sanskrit, Vasman, high top, the Fenian, upper highest seat, or the Russian, high or top. Oranos is the Old Greek word for Uranus, both the Greek form Osanos and a large form Yosso, also found in Greek Oreo, to urinate, Sanskrit Vasa, rain, Hittite Yosa, the fork or mist. The basic Indo-European root is urest, to rain, moisten, also found in Greek dew, Sanskrit vasati, to rain, or Avestan varesta, it rained on, making Oranos the rainmaker, or the lord of rain, again a connection with the rain man. Let's say the basic mainframe of a crater is feminine energy, and it is represented by the mountain or the island. It's reachable per ship or car. To complete and control this system ship or car, you need a captain or driver to captain the ship or joyriding the car, done through masculine energy, the demiurge or the rain man, he who controls the motions of energy or radiation in this system.
Magic does exist. It was found long ago. inside a crashed alien ship.
Hello? Hello?
Best son, superior son, exemplary son. The core idea always pointed directly to the axis of the sky, the celestial pole around which the heavens visually turn. As improbable as it may seem, this is where the Egyptians located their primeval sun god, Atum. This motionless spot in the heavens is precisely where later astronomical traditions from Greece to Persia and China all claimed that Saturn had ruled the world, a contradiction of every principle we take for granted today.
It is I, conjurer of spirits, master of the dark arts. Is anyone there? It is I, Merlin. The wizard? Remember me?
Within Black X Star, we talked about the role of the Maltese cross. The center where two lines intersect is the point where the energies of heaven are released to the earth, and so the physical plane. And in truth, it is at this point, which is actually the point of gratification of power, that great alertness must be maintained by all who use power in its many aspects. We see this center point present within the Saturn polar configuration, and so the center point of the hand of God, the Aum or Om. The connection with the wormhole. This configuration is still rotating within a clock system, the zodiac, which is actually a countdown. More of this later on in the video. The cross is also the center point of energy in the body, within the heart and solar chakra points.
Guardian Knights transform. Dragon is yours to command.
Oh, yes. That would be just the thing.
Protect this staff. One day a great evil will come for it.
We start at a time when Tuban, and not Polaris, was the center point of creation and destruction, at the fixed center of the sky, a time in where the parasites finished building of the Giza pyramids, a replica of our Trinity energy system, and the control chamber of the mind, introducing the red and blue shift radiation fields, and probably its ignition into this biosphere. Earth's precession was historically called precession of the equinox, because the equinox moved westwards along the ecliptic relative to the fixed stars, opposite to the yearly motion of the sun along the ecliptic. The precession of the Earth's axis has a number of observable effects. First, the positions of the south and north celestial poles appear to move in circles against a space-fixed backdrop of stars, completing one cyclid in approximately 26,000 years. But remember guys, we are living in a crater and not a golden globe that is spinning thousands of kilometers a second. This is only an axiom projection statement within our minds when accepting these as truth. So how can we imagine the precessing equinox within the crater Earth concept? Let's rewind back to the whole eternity. Here we discussed the whole eternity. Besides being the main powers of dielectric, magnetic and electric energy currents that are energizing a torus, is also a bubble or crater within a dome on the bottom of a plasma sea, on the surface of the bigger Earth, making the plasma belt the ocean. The crater looks to be divided into a trinity of three areas. On the left current, Boas the Sun, we have our known world. In the middle we have the Tepe Table Mountain Meru, our mother. And on the right we see Antarctica, Yachin, the frozen supercontinent. Mother is generating a massive torus field that is sustaining both worlds with energy. As the parasite has hijacked this system using Mother's energy, it has created an artificial mother at the center of its field, Jerusalem. In the picture of the crater which matches the Hereford map, which are highlighted in changing hearts, we see a darker dot, Jerusalem, above the white spot of Meru. So we have two mountains or towers in the center field. The two towers. Dark and light, it's black, it's white. Where have we seen this before? Yeah, the Xing and Zhang system. The up and down. The interaction of the parasitic dark tower tapping energy from the white mother tower, and so creating a self and mirror projection system within. Now I want you to see left Boas, the known world, and right Yachin, Antarctica, as two separate worlds having their own torus within a larger, so the fake mother's, bigger torus, creating the earth sign or Malkut Sephiroth symbol. These toruses have their entrance sidewards compared with the larger fake mother torus. So for the Boas torus we have the North Pole as its entrance and the South Pole as its exit, with the same mirror construction for Antarctica. Remember, do not use the globe projection, but imagine this system within a crater. Each torus has a Trinity energy system. You might refer this system as the world machine. It's Xboxing the torus, able to contract and extract masculine or feminine energy towards the center point, the X-Cage.
Release the world engine.
For each torus, the world machine is using the ecliptic and the celestial and galactic equators, which in turn generate the celestial, ecliptic and galactic poles within a projection system. So each torus has an ecliptic, the center and the north and south hemisphere. The blue line is the combination of both celestial poles and forms the physical plane within the larger torus of the fake mother, or the disk. Because only the fake mother is in need to Xbox the original torus, and so is generating the celestial pole, which in the physical plane is marked as the Greenwich line. Or should we say, the Greenwich line. The sky we know above our heads is only covering the day and night sky within the Boas torus, unknown world, from the North Pole and the entrance of the precession of the equinox towards the middle of the ecliptic, the path of the sun, and closing the system with the South Pole towards Antarctica. Within this clip, the system is visualized as a decorate sighted from above. We will visualize the triple X torus system on the right sidewards, like we see the dome left visualized in this picture. As we live in a world upside down, and so as above, so below, we inject the same mirror projection into the system, with the physical plane being the center. Okay guys, it might be hard to follow me on this one, but take your time and review this more often when needed. Visualize everything in 3D and within the creator concept.
It's the captain! It's like Yes! Mr. Gibbs! Okay, I thought so. I expect you're able to account for your actions then. Sir? There's been a perpetual and virulent lack of discipline upon my vessel. Why? Why is that, sir?
Sir, you're in Davy Jones' locker, Captain.
I know that. I know where I am. And don't think I don't.
Okay guys, let's have a walk through the crater again to refresh our memory.
Let it show your true colors, true colors, true colors are shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you.
I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. Okay, we view the crater and its stories from the side view again. Our tour guide Cindy is showing us a sinking torus, meaning half of it is energizing up and the other part down, having the sphere split or domed on each side. This is hard to imagine. We are schooled to think the Earth, or maybe even the bigger Earth, is massive solid, filled with magma and centered with some heavy metals. But I think it's hollow, with this layer of dirt being a small part of crust in between, and only within the up and down universe, as the bigger Earth might be a large plasmamoid ball. We center the triple torus in the crater again. For now we leave the big mother torus out of this clip and focus on the two smaller, the Boas and Yachin torus fields. We center the celestial pole, which is the physical plane, with the surface of the bigger Earth, and put both, so up and down Decker X, the 10th hypercubes, in the Boas torus. The Yachin torus has the same setup, but for this picture we will not fill in the Decker X here. The green ridge line is the physical flat plane, covered by a dome which has an input, the North Pole, and an output, the South Pole. In the middle we see the ecliptic, the path of the Sun and Moon. This system has an upworld and a downworld, a mirroring in which the downworld is probably the locker or a singularity in where energy can be locked. Both worlds are each energized by a Deckeract, in which one field generates within the upworld the North Pole and the other the South Pole, and vice versa within the downworld. While the flat physical plane is stationary, the sky seesaws or ripples within this system.
And how will you be spending it? Dead? Or not? The immortal Captain Sparrow. Ooh, I like that. Come sunset, it won't matter. Not sunset. Sundown. And rise. Up. What's that?
From the North and South Pole there's a 23.5 degree movement of up and down, creating the summer and winter in both the southern and northern hemispheres. In this picture we see on the right that the South Pole has shifted with 23.5 degrees up, creating summertime on the northern hemisphere, in which the sun shifts from the ecliptic towards the Tropic of Cancer. The North Pole, or actually the ecliptic pole, which is the pole that shifts up and down, is equal with the physical plane. So the stationary flat Earth is centered within a rotating gyroscopic system, the heart-shaped X-box. To make the ripple complete, we see in this picture the shifting of the North Pole with 23.5 degrees, creating summertime on the southern hemisphere, in which the sun shifts from the ecliptic towards the Tropic of Capricorn. The up and down movement has a cycle of 365 days, which is also the rotation of the sun sphere. Within the up and down movement we have also the precession of the equinox, which makes a wobble circle along each pole within a cycle of around 25,800 years, creating a funnel from pole to ecliptic. Within the up and down system that generates 25,800 times the up and down within this rotation. Can you still follow me? see it like this. The ship is actually stationary, and with its surroundings, the sky actually ripples. Yes, this is us experiencing the up and down movement within 1 year, while each pole has a rotation that creates a funnel towards the pole within 25,800 years. And on top of that, the pole point itself makes another rotation of 365 days. The year cycle.
What is that? I don't know. What do you think? Where? There.
What is it?
This ship stole as we boarded, and which we call Earth, has steered itself into a strange gyroscopic machine that is trying to make us seasick. The World Machine, also called the Celestial Coordinate System. The bigger Earth, like the physical plane, seems also to be stationary, so what force is causing the wobble and the yearly up and down movement?
The first law of physics any of us humans learn, we learn before we are old enough to read or even talk. Unfortunately, our intuition tricks us into believing it is simply a downward force. By the time we go to school and learn that gravity acts between masses, it is too late, and the damage is done. And even Isaac Newton fell victim to this delusion. Most of you may have seen or used a gyroscope. Spin it up and you can easily balance it on your finger. Move your hand slightly to the side and the gyroscope will start to precess. And this means that the gyroscope's top axis wobbles in a circular motion while the bottom axis remains fixed. The problem with this setup is that when we examine the forces involved, it requires one important thing: the force of gravity to be acting downwards. If we remove this condition, something totally different happens. As we can see, no precession is set up at all. As time went by, observations started to appear which indicated that something other than precession was happening.
He's on to it. He's rocking the ship. The tight trouble at the mast, upside down, so when the boat flips, we'll be the right way up. Time back from the swell. Loose the cannons, you dirty bilge rats.
This movement of the gyroscope creates the precession of the equinoxes, the 25,800 years cycle. I think the Big Fig Mother Taurus is constructed within another gyroscope system that creates this cycle of 25,800 years, with the smaller Boas and Yachin Tauruses creating the up and down movements, the Triple X cage. So without the force of gravity, the up and down and the precession will not be energized. So what is this gravity force? And remember, we live in an upside down world. Why are they teaching us to think this force is being generated from beneath our feet? Could it be coming from above?
And you would have the closed circulation system. This is a system that actually is cut off from the flows of the spirit body. What it does is it takes a portion of the light body quantum and twists it in reverse to create a false spirit body. So there's two flows, but it completely blocks any inflow from the actual genuine spirit body. And it traps the consciousness, the part that's stuck in the atoms, right, from the rest of its own identity.
They're like wheels or rings.
This must be how the moon stabilizes itself. Some kind of gyroscopic system.
Within the movie Moonfall, we get to see a glimpse of this X-boxing terraforming system. As the moon is a reflection of the Earth, the makers of the movie probably hide truth that this system is actually turning its rings around Crater Earth. It's harvesting the crater's energy source, the heart of the mountain and seas, Mother, which in the movie seems to be a white dwarf star, so a white crater. We also should take into account that this white dwarf star or crater is the fake Mother that is tapping into the energy of the original Mother, only converting the energy to be harvested.
This is the mutation that we're suffering. This is what is happening right now with our planetary Richet spiral. This is scary because the Richet spiral is supposed to run vertically, just like the Cathara grid is supposed to run vertically, is tilted. Worse than that, it is tilted and broken, where it should be the Richet shape is broken into this artificial shield, which force blends, reverse unnatural currents. It takes the natural currents, forces them into unnatural currents, creating unnatural electromagnetic light spectra. This is what creates mutation, literally, of things like quarks and muons and gravitons, and those kind of things, including electrons and protons. Now, our matter base is mutated through this. This is a big monster on a planetary level. It creates a set of artificial vortices that work like satellite dishes, big ones, at our poles that don't belong there, unnatural ones that don't receive the natural arcs of energy that would normally be coming through the solar spectrum from the gate systems inside the sun. What they do is interface directly with black hole systems, the ones from which the invaders who are doing all of this have come from. And I'll show you that in a second. But this is what we call the gravitron. It is a device, and I'll show you where it is in a couple of minutes.
We are now slaves to the world engine. Initiate.
It's working in tandem with their ship. Somehow they're increasing the Earth's mass, flooding the atmosphere with particulates. The terraforming.
So what has the fake Mother Isis to say all about this?
They are so naive. They think we are not aware of their crimes. We know, but we are just not ready to act.
And these are all the Witwickens. In our halcyon days, we were quite the club. Brilliant minds, explorers, scientists, artists, world leaders, Renaissance thrill seekers, people like Catherine the Great, Empress of all Russia, General Washington, William Shakespeare, Queen Elizabeth of England, Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, the Wright brothers, Giotto, Michelangelo, Darwin, Churchill, Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Henry V, Leonardo da Vinci, Newton, Lavoisier, Mozart, Beethoven.
The storm isn't in the air. It's inside of us. I want to tell you about love and loneliness. But it's getting late now. Can't you hear outside of your supreme hoodie?
Edmund Hillary, Teddy Roosevelt, Copernicus, Tesla, Galileo, They all belong to a secret society, you see, all united in one cause, to protect the secret history of Transformers, here on Earth.
All united for one cause, to protect the secret history of terraforming crater Earth. Plus meaning receiving an electrically positive charge, with ultra meaning on the far side of, beyond, in which we could also split ultra and alt of ultimo, referring of or occurring in the month preceding the present. So it might have something to do with looking glass. So with the moon being a reflection, this system could be manipulating and controlling past, present and future within a time lapse of a month, an Ra of radiation. We see the dark star Sirius and two worlds. Both have an up and down dome, in which we see on the left a dark tower and on the right a white tower that is emitting light, the Zing and Zang. Both towers are controlled by masculine energy, referring to the paintings next to the towers. On top we see a red and blue figure, in which the letter blue is linked with the light, so the yellow the sun.
The wind that's beginning to howl.
When we take a closer look at this stage of the Super Bowl 2012, we see that ISIS is trying to show us something. In the middle we see the gravitons funnels. The input left the North Pole and right the output the South Pole. This system is highlighting the smaller boa stores, our known world. Yachin, which is Antarctica, has probably the same setup. To the left and right we see both the 30 degrees, which are actually part of the football field. But here they're citing us that both lines are left the Tropic of Cancer, the celestial crater, with in the middle point of 0 degree the ecliptic, and on the right 30 degree we see the Tropic of Capricorn, the galactic crater. The whole stage is located within these lines. Besides seeing the graviton funnels from its side, there's another view on this picture. You see the red arrow pointing south towards the center of the crater, where the fig mother Jerusalem is centered. This is due that both 30 degree lines can also be viewed as the west and east meridians of 30 degree each, making the center point the Greenwich line. Now forget about the white funnels for just this moment and imagine the black funnel is streaming black body radiation from the North Pole, passing the ecliptic towards the South Pole and into the fig mother, supplying her with counter-space radiation that has been converted by the sun and the ecliptic.
Not everyone is coming to the future. Not everyone is learning from the past.
A quick overview. A look at the crater sidewards. We have an up dome, the heavens, with a physical plane underworld, and a down dome, the Lacquer. Both domes are energized by a triple torus system, the Holy Trinity, and where a large mother torus is energizing two smaller ones, the Boas and Yachin pillars. We can visualize this system as the iron or Malteser cross, and the earth or Malkut symbol. Another view on the crater from above will show this same symbol. If this torus system had a skeleton body, how would this skeleton be visualized?
Now, this place was built around the original Round Table. Percival, Gawain, Tristan, Lancelot. They sat right here.
With the dome being energized by a 10th hypercube, the Decoract, its northern polar entrance is the center of the circle of the precession of the equinox, also called the ecliptic pole. From here, a spiral motion of energy is entering the dome through a wormhole between Vega and Polaris, from which it is energizing the 10th hypercube. Its focal distribution point is the ecliptic, using the entrance of the North Pole, from which its output of motion flows through the exit of the South Pole.
It's a star. I must have gone through a wormhole. It's Vega.
To hide this pole, the sky is clocked and fixed on the North Pole, a point of rotation clockwise that takes 365 days to complete its rotation, while the precession around the ecliptic pole is rotating counterclockwise, completing one rotation within 25,800 years. Due to the rotation of the North Pole, we cannot see the actually fixed spot of the heavens, the ecliptic pole, in which this spot keeps rotating within the yearly cycle. We have the stars Vega and Polaris opposite of each other, standing 47 degrees in between. It's along this precession of the equinox where the ancient Egyptians erected their Benben stone, on the world pillar, pointed out towards this motionless fixed point in the heavens. The precession of the equinox generates a spiral that creates a funnel towards the ecliptic, generates in return the seven heavens or the heptamet power structure. The planets, within the up and down dome structure, energized by the rings of the gyroscope world machine.
Shame on, shame on, shame on you, shame on you.
When we look into the number 47, the number of evolution, 7 continuing in the eternal mechanism of the world, and 40 by a personal effort and a fight. 4 plus 7 is 11. The 1 and 1, the energizing, makes 2. The evolution. 47 is also considered as being the number of the law. Whose law?
Proclaimed this all to be folly. Hang the cord. Who cares?
Code is the law.
It's taking the bait.
Come on, come on, come on.
What's it waiting for?
Something's wrong. We have to take it out. It's too far away. Won't work.
47 is the 15th prime number, a safe prime, the 13th super singular prime, and the 6th Lucas prime. The Lucas numbers are related with the Fibonacci sequence. In the mathematical branch of moonshine theory, a super singular prime is a prime number that divides the order of the monster group M, which is the largest sporadic simple group. In mathematics, monstrous moonshine or moonshine theory is the unexpected connection between the monster group M and modular functions, in particular the J function.
To develop an inoculant to the virus.
Which means there's still time for us to do something.
48 minutes. 47, sir. By my calculations, the next time distortion should occur between 28 to 47 minutes. I'm receiving a code 47.
Verify.
It is code 47, sir. Starfleet emergency frequency.
Code 47. Captain's eyes only.
Captain, I'm sorry to disturb you.
Yes, number one, what is it?
An incoming message. Code 47.
Even with warp power to the tractor beam, it would mean exceeding the recommended impulse engine output by at least 40.
The origin of the significance of 47 can be traced to Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Voyager, writer Joe Menosky, who attended Pomona College in California. There is a club at Pomona called the 47 Society, which claims that there exists a mathematical proof that all numbers are equal to 47, and that the number 47 occurs with greater frequency and nature than other numbers. 74 makes frequent reappearances as well, as does 23, that's half of 47, rounded down. And guys, half of the wormhole, of course.
7%. Weren't there about 40 people killed?
47.
This is the 46.
47.
We have moved into Sector 21947 in response to a distress call from a Talarian observation craft.
Level 3C, Section 547.
So, if the parasite wants to keep its gyroscope system rotating, it needs fuel or energy to do so. I think that is done through a projection and belief system like the Demiurge or the Monitor that needs us creators to
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
Make it so.
Make it so. Sir? Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it! Make it so. Make it so, number one. Make it so.
make it so. In order to create an electrical flow from plus to minus, we need two opposite forces of attraction, the North and South Pole having both a wormhole entrance of 47 degrees, in which radiation enters the crater through the North Pole and energizes the Sun, the Moon, the Zodiac and the planets, which are focal points of spheres, having these electric currents leaving the system through the South Pole again. In this view we can see the ship, or could we say the Ark of the Covenant, when you free willing giving away your consent unto their projections and into the program. Both up and down domes are Decoract hypercubes, coated with blue the intake of the North Pole that leads to the Tropic of Cancer, the yellow the Sun, the center point and the ecliptic, and the red outtake of the Tropical of Capricorn out towards the South Pole.
Now up. Is down.
I think they want to rock the ship, to get it upside down, to have all bioelectrical systems, so the humans, locked into the locker. Hence we are experiencing lockdowns all over the world. In order for them to succeed, they need us to energize the blue and yellow current before energizing the red current. It's a festival of lights we recognize within the Ukraine conflict. So by impregnating humankind with black body radiation, how can this energy gain its wide self-reflection within the physical universe? Within the emblem of the Azov Nazis, we recognize the mirroring of number 47 in the old German SS symbol, in which the arc of the Zing and Zang projection system is opening up for the Black Sun or the Schwarze Sonne, emitting the black body radiation field into this world. While using the yellow bridge within the solar chakra and into the minds of the hypnosed people, the Kraken is said to decode the key, and where probably its goal, breaking out of the white body radiation field within the locker, could be fueled through using black projections within waves of blue shift radiation and into the minds of millions of believers, a process we recognize in the Azov Regiment's logo. In the left corner we have the blue and yellow, with the yellow being the sun and blue the force of blue shift radiation. In the right corner, the white self-reflection, a wanted end result within the physical universe, while relying on blue shift radiation that, when successful, can unleash the destructive force of redshift radiation, able to enforce the update and desirable changes within the physical universe. Like the importance of yellow being a bridge, we see the bridging of the Xing and Zhang, or the black to white within the flags of Russia and the Donbass People's Republic, coated with the yellow of the sun changing to silver blue, the interaction needed to rock the ship. So how does the parasite energizes the opening up of the wormhole and the escape out of the locker? To set energy in motion into current, the emotions, they need to implement an upside down projection, an inversion like we seen within the CMYK energy field. Its counter-rotating forces will propel the parasite's creation. It's actually a well-known and common mechanism. Share projections with us creators and do exactly the opposite within the bad good cop narrative within the physical universe. So in case of the Ukraine event, you tell that the red and white Xing forces are the bad cops and the yellow-blue Zhang forces the good cop, while...
Выехали откуда? Как вы смогли выехать? Почему? А украинская армия не помогала вам? Украинская армия стреляла. Вы рады, что вы выехали?
Мы 26 числа не в подвале сидим. 26 числа. Сейчас еще я выехал.
Кого-то душ слышно.
А?
Душ. В подвале сидело 300 человек. Это в одном только доме.
Почему вы раньше не выехали?
А нас никто не выпускал оттуда.
Не давали коридор. Украина не выпускала с города полностью. Все заблокированы были. Приезжали военные, говорят, ни в коем случае не выезжайте из города, если вам будет предоставлен коридор Российской Федерации. Они хотели дальше нами прикрываться и все.
Captain, the probe's energy output is overloading our shields. Failure anticipated in 47 seconds.
What is this? Some sort of a map?
This table is from Cybertron. It's a puzzle I've been working on for some time. My entire life, actually.
And what do these glyphs say about it?
They're all Cybertronian. Mantra whispered through the cosmos. Seglas Nutonde.
Wait a minute. I heard that before. A night on a ship. What does it mean?
I don't know if you guys can see it, but I think we are looking at one of the biggest maps of the crater I have seen yet. One that has two suns in it, with two lamps referring to the suns. Yes, take another look. The table even visualizes the massive ice walls surrounding the crater, which seems to be sieged by the 12 Knights of the Round Table. Or should we say the Zodiac Circle? It's headmastered by a 13th sign, one that sits on a throne overviewing the battlefield, in which each sword is energized by the Piece of 8. The Knights have no physical body, in which the makers show symbolic the harnessed torso next to the sword, and in the air, referring to the Olympian gods and the Zodiac.
With your dying breath, protect the staff.
Okay, this is ridiculous.
Like we've seen at the crater map within the Clash of the Titans movie, this map highlighting a massive mountain around the middle of the map. In future work we will look for the root and entrance of this mountain in the physical world. But before that we need to make sure this is Mother and not the fake Jerusalem babysitter.
They had their name for it. We have ours.
Stuff of mammon.
Bequeathed to him by an alien race, fused with his DNA, so that only he would have the key to unlock its alien power. Or as they knew it in those days, magic.
The yin-yang flow, which is a mutation of the yan-yun natural flow, which is not a natural configuration. It is a configuration of energy formed by the tube torus that is part of the Metatronic Beast technology. The tube torus technology creates an energy sucking machine that has these vortices that suck energy in from other living things around it in order to fuel itself, because it is not open to the natural timelines anymore. It can't run the natural energy, so it finds things to feed on. It's the vampiring technology. And that is what the Beast machine has been progressively built on. So the Van Allen belts are actually holding this in. This is called the poison apple magnetic field configuration, and it's very different than the natural one of the yan-yun flows that come from the seed atom. The natural seed atom would be shaped like butterflies. They have a rod current that runs, so they look more like a butterfly current. These block the rod because the rod has been hijacked by the Beast machine. And we are tilted. Our Merkaba fields are tilted. The Merkaba fields are progressively going from what should be a natural counterspin spiral set. The top is electrical, it should spin clockwise. The bottom is magnetic, it should spin counterclockwise. And they are part of the Beast system that literally harnesses a body in order to drag it into black hole fall and keep some facsimile of its form intact. So they are part of the vampire hijack machine. All right, next one, please. This is connected to more mess. What the Beast machine does is take the natural Cathara grid structure and deform it into the natural Cathara grid is the tree of eternal life. It forms what is called the tree of artificial life. And it squeezes in the little proportions of the Cathara grid. The Cathara grid proportions control everything from angular rotation and particle spin to how much quantum of what interfaces with what and where. So it changes the literal matter base and how it operates within a system. All right, this you might.
The center point is the North Pole that on itself is rotating on the equinox on an angle of 23.5 degrees. The rotating rings of the wormhole are the heptamat planets, which are squeezed and centered within the Kabbalah Tree of Life. The rotating rings are known in the physical universe as the ring of the zodiac circle, and where all the heptamat orbital celestial objects are located. This whole system is rooted within the Malkut or the Kingdom Sephiroth.
6 horns. 6 horns, 6 locations.
The fake Mother Jerusalem, a location in the center of the crater, while opposing this central location we see within both worlds the key for Sephiroth, creating an entrance point within the Boas Taurus on the left and the exit within the Yachin Taurus on the right, while each system on itself has a north and south pole system and an ecliptic to create the up and down, the zing and zang, the tree of life, or should we call it the tree of death, and within each Taurus the celestial coordinate system is generating the 64 tetrahedron power grid, the 6 horns. So when we would take a view from the ecliptic towards the North Pole, using glasses that could see electromagnetic toroid fields, we would see pictures like these. Yes, the old North Pole map is not a map within the physical universe, but it is probably showcasing the 4 different rivers or trees we call the 4 worlds of existence. Azilut, world of archetypes, which are the stars above our heads. Bria, the creative angelic world, which represents the monad power that resides in us creators. Yetzirah, the astralic angelic world, the ether or the spiritual world, and Asiya, the active material world, the physical universe.
Captain's log, stardate 44741.9. There have been 947 known archaeological excavations conducted on the planet's surface. Of those, some 74 are generally believed to have revealed findings of major importance.
It's heading our way.
Right.
difference in the shapes from the natural one to what this tree of artificial life creates. That nasty tree of artificial life configuration is part of what is called the daisy of death. Now normally our natural Cathara grid would have the natural lotus arcs at 45-degree angles, 2 up, 2 down, and then the vertical ones. What this does is actually it splits the arcs, takes their energy and harnesses it and springs them where they can't phase. The phasing of the lotus arcs are what allow the light body cells of the monad to move back and forth so they can spark and continue to generate their own currents. When the arms of the lotuses are stretched and phase locked, they cannot move the monad cannot spark, and the system becomes finite. It becomes a dead light system that cannot regenerate its own quantum. And that is what the daisy of death paradigm is. And I used to try to be careful about this, but at this point in the game, it needs to be said. It is the flower of life paradigm that is teaching this stuff directly. It's teaching you to spin your Merkabas at 3421, which is the containment field set. And we have asked the ones who teach this, to have a public discussion with us about it. Invite the public for free and share the cost of a venue. And they won't do it. Why, I wonder? They teach along with this the Fibonacci spiral and the Fibonacci code and all of that. All of these are part of the beast technology, and they are considered the cream of information out there as far as understanding metaphysics. And what they are the metaphysics that have been fed through the net to people here who think they're talking to good guys, but they're not. And this is why we brought this information out, so we could show the difference. So at least there was something to compare it to, so people could make a choice, because we promised we would bring back the right of free will choice, which would not have been here if the comparison weren't able to be made. So
Could have just turned it off.
Okay, Bri. At the trial, you said when the swarm came back, it didn't attack the Endeavor, right?
That's right.
The electronics were out.
Now, when you look in China, you find as well the Forbidden City. The Forbidden City is guarded by the Fu Dogs. The Fu Dogs are the analog of the Sphinx in Egypt. They are considered the guardians, the guardian of knowledge. And they guard the knowledge by keeping it under their paw. When we look under the paw of the Fu Dog, what do we find? Again, the same fundamental geometry of these intersecting spheres, in this case, in complete 3D structure that embeds the tetrahedral array of the vacuum.
That's why it didn't attack us then, and that's why it didn't go after the bomb just now.
Because it needs to sense both. It's like it's programmed to seek out organic matter in an electronic environment.
Exactly.
That's basically us. That's humans.
So the Black Kraken that is living inside the 64 tetrahedron field, or the Flower of Life construction, is said to harvest or drain Chi energy from us creators when we are placed inside artificially created electromagnetic fields within a topological space X, in which polarized X-beams being unleashed to extract the force. So when is this party starting right?
Make it so, Data. Make it so, Mr. Crusher. Well, make it so, number one. Make it so, Mr. Wolf. Ensign Crusher, prepare to make it so. Then make it so. Make it so, Lieutenant. Make it so. 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 Make it so.
Like Queen Isis is singing, when we express ourselves towards the yellow-blue energy event, we will help turning the key. Within the podium we see the 30-degree longitude coordinates, in which the podium place, like within the Azov symbol, both A 30° west and B east meridians are highlighted. Though the center point on the stage is marked with 50°, we know that between both meridians we have the Greenwich line with 0°, so what's up with the 50? This stage is built horizontal, so let's have a look at the imploding topological space X at the 50 parallel north and start at the closest 0 point. We notice the English island of Lizard. When we follow the 5th parallel, we notice the many areas that have been involved in past wars and history, and due disinflicted violence have been split up within 2 areas, a in and output. But let's focus here. We see in the Super Bowl 2012 animation both meridians imploding towards the 50 parallel line. When we take a look at the west line, we find only ocean and water at the 30°. But when we take a look at the east meridian, we pinpoint the 30 longitude and the 50 latitude with a city. Kiev.
Make it so. Mr. Crusher, make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
Nothing's better than homemade, right?
This coffee doesn't taste store-bought, is it?
Make it so. Make it so.
Make it so. Make it so. Make it so.
Make it so, number 1. Make it so, Winston.
Yeah, that's kind of a coffee nut.
Serious? Every time you have coffee, you have to grind your beans?
Yeah, Randall is very particular about his coffee.
I could get that way about tea.
The thing of it is we really did have everything, didn't we?
Wesley, at what level are you?
I'm only level 10.
I'm at level 47.
We have some gaps in the aft shields, Captain. If the torpedoes explode, these areas will be contaminated with ion radiation. We need to evacuate sections 24 to 47.
The movie Don't Look Up will be highlighted in future work, but within its ending we might find another clue towards the yellow-blue energy event. We see a driver, the Demiurge, holding a Finnish flag of the black and white, the Zing and Zang, and celebrating within black magic. Within the coloring codes we see a symbol that looks familiar. Is it Jerusalem? And so will the Ukraine event be one of starting opening up the portals? Okay guys, stay tuned as we will go all into the research with next videos. No fear and much love. Radiation matters.
to. If you could manage me, I'll try to manage you, but lately it's all I ever do. I felt like this on my way home. I'm not scared, I pass boats and the kingdom. I'm not scared, I'll never tell you the secrets I'm holding. I know these things must bore you, I can't find another way. I'll never tell you the secrets I'm holding. I love this leash that holds me when I try to run away. I felt like this on my way home. I'm not scared, I pass boats in the kingdom. I'm not scared, I felt like this on my way home.
We're fighting just for our land and for our freedom. Despite the fact that all large cities of our country are now blocked, nobody's going to break us. We're strong. We're Ukrainians. Light will win over death, and light will win over darkness.